Sometimes even the best actors take on roles that make us scratch our heads. Whether it's for a hefty paycheck or contractual obligations, these performances feel more like a cash grab than a passion project. Here are 10 roles where it's painfully obvious that the actors were just in it for the money. Eddie Murphy in The Adventures of Pluto Nash. With a shocking 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, this film is arguably one of Eddie Murphy's worst. Eddie plays Pluto Nash, a lunar nightclub owner on the moon. That's right, the moon, in 2087, who fights against the mafia that seeks to take over his establishment. It's as offbeat as it sounds. The film's budget was enormous, but sadly, not even Murphy's comedic chops could save it from being a box office disaster. To say audiences were unimpressed is an understatement. The reaction was largely one of perplexity. The quirky plot, the awkward jokes, it seemed like Murphy was just there for the paycheck. And honestly, can you blame him?
So you got it all figured out, huh?
Now, I love Robert De Niro. Who doesn't? But even legends have their weak moments. This is where Dirty Grandpa enters the stage. This cringe fest saw De Niro playing a lewd, recently widowed grandfather who tricks his grandson, Zac Efron, into driving him to Florida for spring break. With an 11% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, it's clear this film didn't exactly wow the audiences or critics. De Niro, usually known for his nuanced and powerful performances, seemed out of place in the raunchy comedy.
You handle SEC compliance?
LP agreements?
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
LLC agreements?
You're shitting me.
Being a corporate lawyer, you know, it's got its upsides.
You know what I'd rather do?
What?
I'd rather let Queen Latifah shit in my mouth from a fucking hot air balloon. That's me.
When you think of Sir Ben Kingsley, you probably think of Gandhi or Schindler's List, not a film based on a third-rate video game about a half-human, half-vampire woman. Kingsley plays Caine, an evil vampire overlord in a role that can only be described as questionable. The film holds a measly 4% on Rotten Tomatoes and is widely considered one of the worst video game adaptations. Even the most die-hard Kingsley fans were left dumbfounded as to why such a respected actor would choose such a role. Behind-the-scenes rumors swirled about the film's chaotic production, but nothing confirmed. Whether it was the money, a strange interest in B-movie horror, or a dare that went too far, we may never know. John Travolta's portrayal of mob boss John Gotti was more wooden than the Louisville Slugger baseball bats favored by his character's cohorts. The film, which earned a rare 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, was universally panned, with audiences and critics alike lamenting the lack of depth and nuance in the storytelling. Behind the scenes, the film experienced numerous production woes, from multiple director changes to script rewrites. Yet Travolta, sporting some questionable prosthetics, trudged on, delivering a performance that was about as lively as a concrete slab. For an actor known for his charismatic roles in Saturday Night Fever and Grease, one can't help but wonder if it was the paycheck that kept him tied to the project.
Let everybody know. Now everybody comes to me.
I'm so proud of you.
You should be running your own crew now.
Mr. Gotti, are you the head of the Gambino crime family?
The head of my family.
Mrs. Gotti, do you know what your husband does for a living? He provides.
There's a certain level of unpredictability with Nicolas Cage. One minute he's winning an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas, the next he's appearing in a film about the biblical rapture. Left Behind, based on the Christian novel series, was a disaster from the get-go. Cage plays Rayford Steele, a pilot who must keep his passengers calm after the rapture causes chaos. The film was torn apart by critics, holding a dismal 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
People from all over this plane have simply vanished.
Chris, let me in! Chris!
I know you all want answers, and believe me, so do I, and I'll do my best to get them.
Bruce Willis's filmography is an illustrious one, but Precious Cargo isn't a shiny gem in his collection. Willis plays crime boss Eddie Pelosa in this forgettable action flick. With a paltry 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, it's clear that neither critics nor audiences were sold. The film's plot, which revolved around a heist gone wrong, was criticized for being predictable and unoriginal. Despite being an accomplished actor, Willis's performance in the film was largely uninspired, suggesting that the allure of the paycheck was stronger than the script.
Jack!
Let her go.
3,
We had a deal.
2,
Sometimes things just don't work out.
1.
Let's go.
Imagine Al Pacino, Oscar-winning actor, playing himself, falling for Jill, who's actually Adam Sandler in drag. That's the premise of Jack and Jill, which was universally panned, sitting on a 3% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Viewers were left bewildered, questioning what could have possibly compelled Pacino to take up such a role. Behind-the-scenes chatter hinted at a relaxed and fun atmosphere during filming, which might have been a factor. Still, given the end product, one might suspect that Pacino saw this more as a paid vacation than a serious acting job.
All you gotta do is make contact. That's all.
Oh! Oh! Oh my God! I'm sure you have others.
You'd think it, but oddly enough, I don't.
Michael Caine has a prestigious acting career, but even he couldn't save Jaws: The Revenge, the fourth installment in the Jaws franchise, from sinking. The film, in which Caine plays airplane pilot Newcomb, was universally panned, landing a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a ludicrous plot involving a revenge-seeking shark targeting the Brody family. Yes, you heard it right, a shark bearing a grudge. Caine was famously quoted saying, "I have never seen the film, but by all accounts it was terrible. However, I have seen the house that it built, and it is terrific."
Damn passengers, you're all the same. Complain, complain. Oh, shit.
Sean Connery, an acclaimed actor known for playing James Bond, took a dive into the world of superheroes with The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He portrayed Alan Quatermain, leading a band of literary figures with unique abilities. The film, however, received negative reviews, with a 17% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience reactions were mixed, with many feeling that the film did not live up to the promise of its premise. Connery's performance, while not terrible, didn't match the high standards he set in his earlier roles. The behind-the-scenes drama, including clashes with director Stephen Norrington, was reportedly so severe that Connery decided to retire from acting. Safe to say, this wasn't a passion project for the iconic actor.
I'm a representative of Her Majesty's British government. The Empire needs you.
But the question is, do I need the Empire?
The Empire is in peril.
You're probably too young to know, but the Empire is always in some kind of peril.
We need you.
Dungeons & Dragons, a film adaptation of the popular role-playing game, was filled with potential. However, the final product was anything but a critical success. Jeremy Irons plays the villainous Profion, delivering a performance that seemed more at home in a melodrama than a fantasy epic. The film was universally panned, scoring a dismal 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a labyrinth of poor writing and overacting where Irons seems to be the Minotaur, charging through with bewildering enthusiasm.
Savina wishes equality and prosperity for all. But the evil mage, Profion, has other intentions.
Pay a visit to the magic school and see our friend